Hello, my friends. I'm very glad to be here with you today, and I will read you a book called Writing Fiction by R.V.Cassill. My name is Maria. I will be glad to know your thoughts that you can write me in live chat right over here. Hi. And please, you can ask any questions, and you can ask me to repeat some phrase if you didn't hear it very well, if you couldn't hear it very well, or maybe some other kind of interruptions in a live stream. I will be glad to repeat or answer your questions. Okay, just a moment. I have to turn off this little sound that comes. Okay, here it is. Okay, here it is. We're back, and I'm holding some mandarin right over here just to feel connected to the nature. Let's start. It is chapter 1, section 1, the mechanics of fiction. Right here. The mechanics of fiction. And chapter 1, reading as a writer. Right over here. And let's start. If you're awfully impatient to get to work, I can tell you now exactly is a cursive. So some words here are in a different font, so you can see it better. Exactly how a history is made, how a story is made. It is made by uttering a declarative statement. Joe wrote Maureen a dishonest, flattering letter, and answering the question naturally provoked by such a declaration. Who is Joe? Who is Maureen? What involvement have they with each other that motivate Joe to write a dishonest letter? These questions will be answered by further declarations, which in turn require explanations. If you keep on giving explanations, presently you will have a story of sort. This is exactly how all fiction is made. In the beginning there is an utterance, then there is explanation. This is exactly how all fiction is made. However, like an exact formula in the arts, this none too serious prescription leaves a great deal to be said. To make it serious, one must point out exhaustively how a writer learns, which questions to ask, how they are best answered, and when enough has been said. Certainly, the writer can acquire technical principles, otherwise than by distilling them from the fiction he reads. Yet, reading remains essential because most technical concepts are learned more quickly and thoroughly from examples than from abstract definitions. I'm reading this book for the first time with you, and so I hope it will be interesting to all of us, to you and to me. And please, you're welcome to write me some statements, questions right here. I will be glad to hear from you. Okay. Let's continue. Consider this. It is generally agreed by modern critics and practitioners of fiction that nothing is more characteristic of the art than concreteness of expression. Concreteness ought to be your aim in all you write and revise. Very well, you say, but what is this concreteness? It can be abstractly defined as the rendition of actions, people, places, and things in languages that relate how they would be registered by an observer's senses of sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch. Concreteness is about the same as what Henry James called realization, the achievement of a sort of evoked reality from mere words. Such an abstract definition is not without value, but keeping it in mind. Read this passage from Flaubert's Madame Bovary, and I will read it to you. We are reading the book, writing fiction. Okay. It was a fine summer morning. Silver gleamed in jewelers' windows, and the sunlight slanting onto the cathedral flashed on the cut surface of the grey stone. The square, echoing with cries, smelled of the flowers that edged its pavement: roses, jasmine, carnations, narcissus, and tuberoses interspersed with well-watered plants of catnip and chickweed. The fountain gurgled in the center. Bare-headed flower women were twisting paper around bunches of violets. The young man chose one. It was the first time he had bought flowers for a woman, and his chest swelled with pride as he inhaled their fragrance, as though this homage that he intended for another were being paid instead to him. Note: in the first paragraph, how many senses are appealed to in this realization of a summer morning in a French city? The gleam of silver and the sunlight of the cathedral illustrate the visual sensation. The gurgling fountain and the cries of merchants and customers appeal to the sense of hearing. The flowers and the wet plants stir the reader's recollection of actual smells. Then, in the second paragraph, we see a young man in the midst of this color, sound, and smell. Within the quoted passage, this young man is not described, characterized, or even named. Yet he is as real as fiction can make him, because here he serves as a focal point for all the sense impressions set loose by the previous paragraph. We cannot, of course, quite smell or see or hear this busy city square. Unlike the theater or the movies, fiction can't rely on immediate sensual impact. But we sorry. Maybe I should have some water. You know, I felt that. I felt the square full of flowers. I felt the square full of flowers. Different colors, even the gray stone of the cathedral. And all those flowers leaning along that gray stone. How do you imagine that? I imagine it this way. The flowers are all underneath, laying down. Okay. But we are induced to imagine that the young man is literally assaulted through every sense, and it is the concreteness of the objective world acting on his mind and emotions that gives him his fictional reality. An experienced writer criticizing the work of an apprentice is apt to say repeatedly, "Don't tell us what your character or scene is like. Show us." Certainly, you can learn how to make your story concrete by studying this example from Flaubert. If you return to it 20 times, it will still have things to teach you, but several examples are better than one. You ought to look for the same qualities of concreteness in the stories in this book. Note the Baptist section in Taking Care, the flinging of gifts to the goat in As He Devours, and the description of Anna's home in The Lady with the Pet Dog. And don't stop with the examples in this volume. Once you have learned what to look for, all your reading ought to be a search for the variety of technical means by which various writers achieve their ends. Well, here we are, and we didn't finish the first part. Right here, we stopped in right here. So we are reading the book Writing Fiction, and I hope by the time we finish this book we will be much smarter. We will know how to analyze not only your own writing or other books, but also to get truth from our now reality that we have in internet. We have a lot of people who doesn't know how to write fiction. So after learning this, we will see it very well. You will see it, and I will see it much better. Well, thank you very much for being here with me, and please subscribe to my channel. Send me names of books or authors that you would like me to read to you or to talk about, and I will. Have a good day. Remember, your mind is a powerful thing. Bye-bye.